Tonight is the 11th night in a row that the people of Calera, Alabama will not be going to bed knowing if a killer is in their midst, not knowing if someone might strike again. After a stay-at-home mom was found face down on her own street, bleeding from the head and wearing nothing but a sports bra. Oh, and there was a green bottle of liquor placed strangely on top of a cell phone right near her body. 11 nights later, all the police can say is that, yes, this is a homicide investigation. Yeah, it makes you think a lot, because Kathleen Dawn West also went by the name Kitty Cat West on an adult website that costs $15.99 a month. But Kitty Cat West was a mother. But I got to be honest, I mean, these pictures were made public by the victim herself. This wasn't something, you know, that we're making up. I mean, this is just facts and evidence in the case, which is why retired FBI Special Agent Bobby Chacon is a great person to tap into right now. He's live with me from Los Angeles. So help me sort through that. You know, Bobby, I get it. If I were the family member of this woman, who knows if they're only just finding out about this secret sex life that she was selling. And again, pictures only. That's as far as we know. But very sexy pictures at $15.99 a month subscription. Right. What does that do for the police, though? How does it change what they're doing to investigate this? Because she's not just the suburban mom anymore.
Well, yeah, and look, the family's dealing with a double tragedy. First, finding out about this secret life that she had, and the ultimate tragedy of her death. And what it does for the police, I mean, if you think of a homicide case like this, you always think of the suspect pool. Can we narrow down the suspect pool? And usually it's kind of limited in a case like this. Well, except for her other life, exponentially expands the suspect pool, because not only do you look at the 855 subscribers, but there are probably an exponential number of people beyond that who just click on her pictures for free and are following her free pictures that she puts on Twitter to entice people then to go and subscribe to her website. So the suspect pool is immense. The police are probably tracking down not only the 855 subscribers that she had, but trying to track down all those other people that may have followed her on Twitter and clicked on her pictures to see if they could get something for free. So you have an enormous job ahead of the investigators just to get a suspect pool narrowed down in this case.
And my assumption is that the FBI has, a lot of tools in their toolkit, many of them digital, and if you're subscribing to that website, someone's going to likely look at you in some fashion. But can I ask you this? For anybody who's watching, who might have done this, maybe has some secrets in her life or his life, how dangerous is it? Because I think most people think that they might be able to actually execute a secondary lifestyle online because it's so anonymous. Is it really?
Well, that's the fallacy of this type of activity, right? It feels safe because you're doing it in the privacy and comfort of your own locked home. But what you're doing is you're enticing a certain type of person to come and view racy pictures of yourself. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say most of those subscribers are men. I know we're not supposed to make assumptions based on gender, but I'm going to go out on a limb there and say most of those 855 people are men, and men of a certain type that, have to pay per month to look at racy pictures. Now, that's, these psychologists will tell you the men that are drawn to that kind of activity, can become obsessed with these kind of people. And so they're probably looking into seeing if she had any kind of exchanges on Twitter with some of her followers or some of her subscribers that wanted to meet her more or see videos or whatever. There may be clues within this social media world. But you're right. I think that, it feels like you're safe and there's some kind of distance, but that distance can be closed very quickly, particularly if not only do you maintain this private social media presence, but you also have your public and your daughter and your husband out there on your Facebook page that they can find you on social media.
So I want to make, really clear here that Kathleen Dawn West, also known as Kitty Cat West, was out the night before she was found. And this is critical because, of course, they're going to not just look at those online, they're going to look at those who are close to her in her real life as well. Who knows if the family just found out? Who knows if the husband found out and didn't like what he found out? He is not a suspect that we know of in this crime at all. Police are not naming him at all. I don't even know his name. But I do know this. Stacy Oglesby works at a liquor store. And Stacy said The night before, Kitty Cat West was found face down in only her sports bra across the street from her house on the neighbor's lawn, half in the street, half in the grass, with a bottle of liquor placed in a bizarre way right over top of a cell phone. She was in that liquor store with her husband. Have a listen to Stacy.
Apparently it was a night without kids and it was date night. And my understanding is that they did that. But that's just people talking. So, but yeah, she was in here the night before.
So, Bobby, there is that other notion. The last person possibly who was with her was her husband in the liquor store. And there is that undeniable piece of evidence, a liquor bottle placed strategically on top of a cell phone. As an FBI agent, what does that tell you? Anything?
Well, yeah, it tells me that whoever did this had the time, number one, to do that. Number two, the fact that she was either lured out of her house or taken out of her house, because she almost definitely didn't leave her house in just her sports bra voluntarily. So she was either injured and taken out of that house, or somehow she was brought out of that house against her will to where she ended up. So somebody was involved in taking her out of that house and across the street. If there's a prowler and you go outside, you put on a pair of pants. You know, you don't go out the way she was found.
It is a
she
bizarre,
was taken out of that house.
A bizarre mystery. Found naked across the lawn in suburbia in a sports bra, and found by a neighbor's daughter too. Really unpleasant circumstances. Bobby, thank you. My thanks also to Carol.